Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, appreciate the opportunity today. Well, I do wear a hat as the President and CEO of the California Manufacturers and Technology Association. Today, I'm here on behalf of an informal coalition that was formed more than 10 years ago called the Get Real Coalition. And the REAL stands for Relevance in Education and Learning. It's a consortium of industry and labor leaders. In fact, our co-chair is Jeremy Smith from the State Building and Construction Trades Council. So we do sit down regularly and talk about these issues. And I've found this hearing particularly interesting in that a couple of things are fairly obvious. There is a lot of money at stake. There's a lot of discussion about the need to prepare every child for their future in this state, but there still seems to be a disconnect between how we're going to do that. And I would argue that the most important day in a student's life in California is the first day of kindergarten. Because that's the day that we make a commitment to them that we will see them through not only their education, but into a lifelong learning opportunity here in California. The sad part is it's not happening at the moment. And the manufacturing sector does own part of that narrative, and we have a responsibility to change the narrative, because it should come as no surprise to anybody here that often it's told, oh, you don't want to go into manufacturing. And that simply is a misnomer in reality, that the opportunities to make money, progress your career, and support yourself and your family is vast within the manufacturing sector. But we keep telling students that that's not the case. Parents are to blame as well. I have one of my members who opened up their days on Manufacturing Day and had school children with their parents come through the facility. And as the children were wide-eyed and just interested and intrigued with what they saw, their parents were whispering into their ear, "You don't want to work here." And how unfortunate is that to tell a young person, yes, you're excited about it, but you don't want to be here. And let's break down why that parent would say something like that. What have we told ourselves over the years about how everything is made? And I think a couple of you have heard me say this before. Manufacturers make everything. Everything that we rely on every day is made by a manufacturer. And we pay wonderful wages and have great opportunities for those that work in the sector. Right now, California has 1.3 million employees in the sector. We have 30,000 manufacturers in California, small, medium, and large, and our $300 billion economic contribution to the state's economy. We need to support that. And here's where it all comes together. The thing that keeps manufacturers up at night that I hear all the time, which of course keeps me up at night, isn't energy, it isn't supply chain, it's workforce. Literally workforce. We don't have enough people in California interested or trained to meet the needs of the future. And when I say future, I mean immediate future. 5 to 10 years with a retirement ratio that our sector's never seen, because the jobs are so good that people hold on to them for 35 or 40 years. That's what we need to be supporting. And I agree with in fact, I was gonna say what she said for all three of them before I started my testimony. I'll say it again for you. We need to change that narrative and that focus and stop talking about that as being separate, but rather, as Mr. Marisucci said, lumped together, because that's what it's talking about. That is our obligation to the state of California and every child that comes through the educational system, not to stigmatize them. And the way you do that, if they're interested in something, let's support that, because the career opportunity is there. And we will do our part in manufacturing with my counterparts in the Get Real Coalition to make sure that there are opportunities at the end for anyone when they become 18. I got personally very anxious during COVID, particularly November of 2020. I felt we were going to lose an entire graduating class to something other than gainful employment in the trades. I thought they were going to get lost. And then again in June of 2021, the second graduating class during COVID. We need to give opportunities for them, and the best place to do that, selfishly, is in the manufacturing and the trades. Because we do make everything. We are integral to the state's economy, and we feel we deserve the support for that. So I think this panel would be more aptly named the catalysts and the customers of CTE. We are it, and we really want to be supported. I have it's more of a rhetorical question, but one I want to put before everyone here today. I was at a conference 2 weeks ago where I heard, and I'm not sure how accurate it was because it shocked me, that only 30% of California's students go to four-year colleges or that graduate from college. I don't know the answer to that. The fact that it's less than 50 is really the point. What are we doing with the other 70 to 50% of the students? we're telling them, you didn't go to college, so you're not going to make it. We have to pivot that narrative. And it starts with us because we're in the sector, and it continues with the legislature and the governor to really reverse that and assimilate everybody into the same bucket, because we have actually, at the end of the day, we all are. There are numerous programs in the state that are private-public partnerships that, if they are replicable and scalable, they ought to be pursued. There's two in your area, Mr. Alvarez, Rise Up Industries and Workshops for Warriors, doing wonderful things. If we could support that more with the positive attitude, I think we'd have a lot better outcomes for the entire state of California, and a lot more gainfully employed workers in California as well.